So we figure that because we are stuck inside, we're quarantining, we decided that we're going to talk about our travels and kind of reminisce on stuff. So I have pictures here, and Nick doesn't know what pictures I've chosen. They're all from our Instagram, so really, he could have just looked at it, but you didn't.
The whole Southeast Asia tour that we did, like after Cambodia, I constantly get everything mixed up. Like, it's really Indonesia. Like, Bali was kind of I mix that up with Krabi all the time in my head. Like when we were in Thailand and Krabi. Mm-hmm. I always mix those two. I remember like Nusa Penida. I'm like, it was Thailand. Like, I it up in my head all the time.
Yeah, so this is gonna be interesting. But I think that it's also just gonna be really nice because, I mean, instead of having to just, be negative or be in our own heads about stuff, I think that will just kind of be nice to be able to like talk about all this fun stuff that we got the opportunity to do in the last couple of years. So, I have the pictures. So let's start. Okay. So.
Wait, should we crack these?
Oh yeah, I need to have some of this miso soup first because it's going to go cold.
It's like steaming.
Okay, do you want to eat anything before we go into the first picture?
I can eat as we go. I'll eat with my fingers.
Okay.
What?
Well, how'd you eat with your fingers?
I don't know, it feels easier just like... Burp, burp. I'm not like a chopstick master. Spin stars.
Okay, so let's start with this. So we're going to start with picture number 1. And you tell me where this was and what was going on that day. Okay?
Should I look?
Yeah, it's time.
Oh, I remember that shit. We were on Cat Ba Island, right, in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So that was the first, right after we left Cambodia, we took a bus to Vietnam.
Yeah.
I remember it was a night bus, a hotel bus.
Yeah. And
we slept on the bus, and I remember waking up at the border of Vietnam, and I remember being all groggy, and it was like early in the morning, but we were so fucking excited. Yeah. I remember I remember getting on a ferry thing, we were in Cat Ba, it was like rainy, I was wearing flip-flops.
Okay, but remember how we got there and we didn't realize that it was going to be cold?
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah. So we I had one sweater that I brought with me from Canada.
No, nothing warm. Nothing warm with us.
I had one sweater that I brought with me from Canada, and then I thought we were going I was like, oh, we're going to like a beach, sick. Mm-hmm. So I gave it to Kelly, right.
Yeah, the one sweater that you had.
The one sweater that I had, I was like, Kelly, you should have this. And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
Hot here, but alright. And then we got there and it was freezing fucking
It was
cold.
so cold, but it was so nice. One second, I have to get my laptop because I think that I'm going to see if I can pull up other pictures while we do this too.
Okay.
Where did I put my laptop? Oh, it's over.
What happened to that sweater that I bought?
We brought it to Australia.
Oh, did I get rid of it in Australia?
Yeah, we brought it to Australia, but it wasn't that nice of a sweater because you bought that one sweater on Cat Ba Island, and
it was kind of nice.
It was okay, but it wasn't.
What did we do with it? Did we give it away before we left?
We obviously didn't keep. It wasn't the best sweater ever.
No, I know, but I forget. How often do we give away clothes?
We've gotten rid of so many clothes in the last few years. We were like, oh, we're gonna go to Halong Bay and we're gonna do a boat tour or whatever, and then we got there and it was so cold. But remember, then we did this.
It was also was it really that cold, or was it just because we had come from Cambodia though?
It wasn't that cold. It was 10 degrees.
Yeah. Which, I mean, in some parts of the world, Kelly thinks 17 degrees is cold.
But remember this, then we went to up the mountain.
Remember we went up the mountain, mm-hmm. and we saw all the war monument where they had the cannons and stuff that were built into the mountain on top.
I know.
That was Cat Ba.
Yeah, that was on Cat Ba Island.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh so my God, I remember taking all these pictures.
I know.
One of those is a few ago. This one. That was one of the ones that was the background on my phone.
Yeah, you liked that picture of me.
I loved it. Because it was one of the pictures that you didn't set me up for. I wasn't a human tripod that time. I was really... I just saw you, and then I was like, oh, this is fucking... You look so pretty. And then I
wanted to make it that's so nice. Okay, I have another picture. I'm serious, that was nice.
No, I know.
Okay. I have another picture, okay? So...
Holy shit.
What about this? Okay, wait. Tell me if you
I'm not looking. I'm keeping my head turned until you're right there.
Okay, what about this picture do you notice?
Oh yeah, no, I remember this. Yeah, so this was. I don't remember if it was before or after. But this one was. We still have those things. I think they're in the box over there. Yeah, from when Vietnam beat. Was it Singapore? In the
Malaysia.
Malaysia. Yeah, in this Southeast Asia Games or something, right?
The like AFF. We have a video on it.
Yeah, I can't remember what
That
it
was so crazy because we got to Hanoi, but we got there and we had no idea that it was like this night of this huge football game. Like,
yeah, we just showed up.
We were just there and then we were like, oh holy shit! And like Nick really likes watching football.
Yeah.
So then.
Thanks to Jet, my friend from Australia.
So then we just like watched the game and it was crazy. The streets were wild. Like it was.
I couldn't believe like that we were like. I thought it was just like a big like soccer night, and then I started seeing like all these like flags, like all this like stuff going up, and we were like, I was like, wait, there's like a big event. What the fuck? These pictures are so sick. Holy shit, that's so. Why haven't you posted that?
Well, because I don't like pictures. I don't like pictures who are
that.
like.
Can I post it?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah. Sorry.
My thing is like not working.
I don't know if it was just because I was so excited, like leaving Cambodia, like going on another trip, but Vietnam for some reason, it holds like there's something special about Vietnam to me. Like I really like Vietnam.
I know you love Vietnam. I like Vietnam too, but you really love Vietnam.
Yeah, the food. Yeah. Not to say that you don't. Yeah, I just something to me like I really want to go to Vietnam and like spend a long period of time there because
like live there.
Yeah, maybe for like half a year or something.
Oh god, Vietnam is so beautiful. The food there is just...
The food is the best food I've ever had. I mean, I guess Japan, like I'm a big fan of sushi, so Japan was bomb.
Oh, I know, I love the food in Japan.
But I don't know, like, it's still, like, it doesn't...
No, Vietnam to me has the best food in the world that I've experienced yet.
I remember this day.
I took that picture for a blog.
Mm-hmm. But I remember this day, I was very, like, I wanted to take photos really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cute. Oh, okay. What about... We're getting out of Vietnam now. What about this picture?
This one was it Thailand?
No.
This one was in Indonesia.
Yeah.
This was in Bali?
Yeah, on Nusa Penida.
Yeah, see, this is where I'm all screwed up. Because I remember this, like, vividly being crabby.
No,
it wasn't.
Was not like this.
No, because we were
Crabby
there
is with Jess and Connor.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. Bali is such a, like, scramble in my mind.
Because it was a scrambled adventure, that's for sure.
I think we rented the moto there, though, too. So.
Nick, we were only on Nusa Penida for, like, one night. Of course we rented a moto. We had, like, 5 hours there.
That was it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's why you don't remember it.
I remember being...
Because it was, like, that's what I'm saying, it was a scramble.
To me, I remember... What I really remember is how scared I was going to the... not the water... It was, like, the little waterfall, but it was... We were walking down the stairs on the side of the mountain that were all ripped out.
Yeah, well, that was my next picture. Okay, so now...
That was...
Okay, so now talk about this picture.
Okay, so we'll do this for... I want to go back to the other one. So this one... Oh my god. Okay, so
I love that picture too.
This is... I'll never, ever, ever forget this. This... I've always had respect for, like, water and, like, the power that it has and all that. But we went down this, like, mountain... And all the stairs were like, they were shot.
It's like one of these things that like all those travel bloggers like post about.
Yeah.
And they make it seem like it's so normal and they'll like take like beautiful
No one tells you.
No one tells you
what the hell you're getting into.
That was like the scariest.
It was
so scary.
It was so, I'm so glad that I did it. It was so fun. It was such a like cool experience. But I've never been like so, like I was just, there's like I'm powerless. Like I felt like the way that the waves were hitting the side of the mountain. I think we have GoPro footage. This waterfall, and it's kind of loud, but there's like these bathing areas, and this is all like fresh water. It's like kind of cold, and it's right by the ocean, which has fucking crazy waves coming. Oh my god. Holy fuck. This place is incredible. There was a mountain that was probably like 400 feet high from the ocean. 400 feet up, and down the side of this mountain's like a sheer cliff all the way down. They had built like a staircase that was really sketchy that went like zigzagged down, and there was parts that were broken off, the railing was just gone. Like it was horrifying.
Freaky. It was freaky.
Like you don't know, like I was expecting like all I could think about was like seeing something in the news like two vloggers or like two people whatever like
I know. I always
fall
think
in
that
the
shit,
and I'm just like no one's gonna care, no one's gonna remember me. It was so, I don't know I was all because I was scared. I was just
okay I have the next picture,
okay. So this one, we were in the Philippines, and that was with Pedro and
Aaron.
Kitty and Ering and
Danny Carlson's in the
Danny Carlson. How the fuck? Sorry, Danny.
We were in Cebu City.
Cebu City, that was it. Yeah. So we had met up after like doing our kind of Southeast Asia tour. We had met up with our Filipino friends, or people that I know from skateboarding, and I was just like itching to skate. I had to go do some skating, some like downhill skating, and we went out for a day. We jumped in this like bus, like a tour bus, with the little baby. I can't even remember her name, but she was
so cute,
adorable.
Yeah, she was so cute.
And we went out skating for the day, and it was just so
okay,
good.
but remember where we were? So at this point, we were waiting for our Australian visas to come in, because we had applied like so late, and we talked about that in our Australia video. I can never say our Australia. It just drives me
Australia
crazy.
video.
It drives me crazy, but we talked about it there, like how we didn't allocate enough time to really wait for our visas to come in, and then they asked us to do medical exams, and so we had to do our medical exams in Cebu City, so we had to stay there for a bit longer. And then Pedro, like our friend who also skates for the company that Nick skates for, he was so amazing. So nice. Like the nicest people, honestly. And then hooked us up to stay at his friend's grandma's place. We've now arrived in Oslo, and these people here have been so generous to let us put our tent up. And we like pitched a tent under the grandma's house for like a week or so. Our visas just kept not coming in because we're stupid and we applied too late. And that's where, like, if you've ever been to the Philippines, that's where you go to see the whale sharks. So that's where you go to swim with the whale sharks. So it's an in and out destination. Which we didn't do, but I've done that before. Yeah, which is so sick. Which we didn't do that trip, but it's an in and out destination for pretty much every traveler. So people don't just stay there for like extended periods. It's just kind of like a smaller like little community there. And thankfully there was like a 7-Eleven, so we kind of survived off like Toasties. And also, I mean, we didn't just eat Toasties, like that's so like traveler of us, like, but like no, we had Toasties, and there was like lots of cool little businesses and stuff that we got. The Philippines is hard for us because we're vegetarian. Yeah. And a lot of the local food in the Philippines has meat in it. But I've been to the Philippines a couple times now, and I've never really found out like what to eat. Like I've always struggled with the Philippines, and even my Filipino friends who live there and stuff are like, yeah, I don't know. Oh, our camera was like stopping. Okay. So thank God that it just started. Otherwise it would have been hard to find this again. So this is when I realized, I realized that monkeys were f***ing assholes a while ago after we went to Korong Island. But this was when and you know what, I was scared of monkeys, but this is when I kind of went back to like Liking them.
I liked them. Yeah, I was like,
liked them
okay, they're
again.
not like horrifying, hissing beasts. They're like, they're kind of normal.
We have to step back here for a second. So what happened was that we moved to Cambodia, obviously, in 2018. And Nick was like, oh, I just can't wait. Like, when we were living in Canada. Because he hadn't been to Southeast Asia before. And he just kept being like, oh, I can't wait to meet a monkey. I just can't wait. And I'm like, you have to understand that monkeys aren't, like, friendly and sweet like you see. And this is the problem with Instagram and shit. Because, like, you look at people's travel photos and everything, and it looks like monkeys are just, like, hanging out on you. Because in this picture, it kind of does. Like,
Even more guilty.
Because in the monkey forest in Ubud, like, it actually is like that. But everywhere else, it's not like that. Like, monkeys don't just jump on you and, like, cuddle. And so we got to Koh Rong after, like, teaching in Phnom Penh for, whatever, a week. We went straight to Koh Rong.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then you were like, oh, I'm so excited to see a monkey.
They didn't have a hotel, like, or a hostel for us. We thought we were going to be staying beachfront
Now I have to find pictures of this.
And we were all stoked about this. And we got to the place. They were like, oh, okay, well, we can give you that price, but you're going to go way in the forest. And we were like, oh, okay, like, that's not a big deal. And they're like, there's monkeys. And I was like, sick. And Rachel was like, oh,
no.
fuck. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, because we thought we were going to get a beachfront thing. Oh, this is the first time we went to Koh Rong. And, like, yeah, we thought we were going to get a beachfront thing. And then they were like, no, you're with the monkeys. And I understood what that meant, but you did not.
I was stoked. I walked out and I pulled my phone into my pocket for a split second to check the time.
They charged you.
And they charged me. Like, two little shit monkeys charged me and, like, swiped at me.
With the teeth wide open.
Yeah, like the mouth open with the big fang. It was like,
So what do you think? So what do you think of when you think of this picture then?
I think of being scared. And my adrenaline was going a little bit, but I was really excited to kind of like have my faith restored in monkeys, and it was cool.
This monkey was cute. Remember this monkey?
It was just curious. We put a lock on. I don't know if you can see in the picture, but we had a little tiny lock that we were using for our hostel lockers that we were told to put on our bag, so we put it on the zipper because apparently the monkeys will open up the zippers and pull your shit out. So
it was trying. It was trying in this picture.
Yeah, it was trying to. It saw the lock and it was pulling it. So we thankfully we put the lock on. So if you're ever there, put a lock on your zippers or lock up your shit.
Remember the picture of me at the monkey forest?
Which one? Oh, where they're swinging off your head? Yeah, I remember getting it, and I wanted to get the picture of the monkey on you, and you were like, okay, I'm done. And I was like, wait. And then they ended up swinging off your head. And then, I mean, you were okay with it. It was fine, but you weren't, like, that happy.
I wasn't pumped. Okay, look. Okay, you ready? What about this picture?
That was we didn't have jobs yet. We had just gotten to Sydney, Australia.
We went to Sydney to visit Jess. We were there for like 7 months.
No, I know that, but I'm saying how long were we there before we took that picture? Because that was
like
when we went to Sydney to look for jobs? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was like a week or so. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe 2 weeks actually, even. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I love that picture of us actually. And I love the ones of you and Jess too. You and Jess, I have them on my phone. I don't know if you have seen them. Yeah. Yep. So I love those ones of you guys as well. But yeah, that was... Oh, gosh. We were drinking the Little Fat Lambs.
Oh yeah, Little Fat Lambs.
Oh, that is a f***ing hangover in a bottle, man.
What do you think when you think of this picture?
I can smell the ink. I can smell... You know the smell of being in the room. That's my first thought whenever I see any pictures of tattoos that I've gotten from Len. My first sense is brought to the smell. Those memories are so burned into my brain. Just being in that environment and like having the AC unit hitting me and feeling the humidity every time, like him and I would go for a cigarette and like we were smoking those like shitty, like him and I were smoking those shitty like pop cigarettes. Or no, I was. He was just smoking like normal cigarettes. We were smoking those like shitty pop cigarettes and going out.
Mevius.
Mevius, that was it. And like having my body just like like wherever it was I was getting a tattoo, like my body was all raw.
Okay, but also and, like you're like, oh, of course you'll never forget it because you were there for 5 days. But also like before that, because that was when we went back to Cambodia. Like we weren't living there when that picture was taken, obviously. But like so much of us living in Cambodia was like going to Len's and like getting tattoos, like, because Len is not only our tattoo artist and Nick's tattoo artist, but like our friend. He's our really good friend in Cambodia.
Like, we weren't just getting tattoos anymore. We were like
hanging out.
When I'm really like thinking back to all these pictures and like thinking about all this stuff, it's really like I'm like actually flooded with all the like smells and like the feelings and the like being too hot and then like hit AC like and the tattoos and the friends and like getting like drinking beer all the time and like smoking cigarettes constantly, and like it's such a like all that stuff was so like the feelings that I got. It's not just like a thought in my head, like it brings back all the like feelings that my whole body felt. Like it's actually like weird to think about. Like it's weird for me to like really go back into my memory and like pull the memories out, because it's like I feel them. Like I feel.
I know. Well, I think like you don't get the opportunity to do it as much as I do, because obviously like I write the blogs and stuff, so I'm constantly having to like go back into our pictures and like think about like 10 things to do in this place, like, you know, and then have to like relive it and think about where we went and everything. So of course I took a lot of the pictures and I definitely edited all of them. So I've had to revisit these like a lot more than you have. So I can only imagine what that feels like, because when I look at the pictures from Lens in particular, or like watch the vlog from like Lens in particular, I remember for some reason what is always going to be a memory of like living in Cambodia for me is walking down the street to his house.
When the tuk-tuk would drop us off.
Like right at the corner, because it doesn't go down that road.
And then you'd walk past all the like stray dogs, and like on the right when you're going down, there's like the people there that were like, they had like a big market, but it was just, clearly it wasn't like advertised for everybody, it was just for like the locals to come.
Len's area where his place is located is very different than the rest of Phnom Penh too. Like I remember going to Lens for the first time to get tattoos. Like, you had already been once, but the first time that I went, and then we were like 3 on a motorbike going down to his house, and then like it's totally out of what we're used to in Phnom Penh at this point. And I remember like thinking to myself that like, oh, how crazy it is that I'm here on a motorbike, 3 people on a motorbike going to this like remote, what felt like remote, it's not now, I know Phnom Penh it's not, but like I felt like I was like really going out into the country, and that is a crazy feeling. Like that is a crazy feeling to look back at that and be like, holy shit. It is just kind of nice to be able to sit back and think about like how lucky we've been so far in our lives. There are going to be more moments that we look back to and go, oh my god, that was so cool. So like I think that's why it's so important that in the moment you really try to embrace it. Anyways, I think that that's where we're going to close this video for today, because those are the only pictures that I saved for now. So we'll probably do it again, because here we are inside of our place, cooped up for God knows how long. So we have lots of time. Time is just hours right now. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know. If you didn't, then don't, because it hurts our feelings.
Yeah, don't let us know if you didn't enjoy it.
Don't let us know, because it's just rude, honestly. Some people can be so rude on the internet. All the stuff that's going on in the world. Be kind. And, yeah.
Eat sushi. Eat sushi. Stay healthy. Good luck.